Hello, gang. I hope you're not tired of hearing about AI search yet, because I've been excited to tell you about this all day. So, yeah, you see, that's the topic today. How do we actually manage to turn AI visibility into revenue? And we're going to go through this one by one. So why is AI search such a big topic at the moment? How do top teams connect AI visibility to revenue? With top teams, I mean our clients, of course. And what actually works in AI search? Like, how do you improve visibility there, and how do you actually connect it to revenue? We're going to end with where AI search is heading next, and then at the end, we got a special surprise for you as well. So let's dive right into it. So a few words about myself. My name's Oliver. I'm leading SEO and AI search strategies for brands like TeamViewer, JTL, at my employer Yoyaba. And I have around 8 years of experience in the field, also speaking at several European conferences about this topic. So why do I talk about AI search at the moment? Why is everyone talking about it? So I think the data pretty much talks for itself. The adoption of LLMs is growing across the board. Here we're seeing the referral traffic from ChatGPT in 2025. It grew by 200%. And this is just ChatGPT. What's coming on top of this is Claude, Perplexity, AI mode, AI overviews. Like, all the stuff is exploding at the moment, and the buyer journey is just changing. Another insane number, I think, is zero-click searches. Those hit 60% last year, and it's becoming more and more. And it actually makes sense, because traditional search is super shitty, if we're being honest. Like, who wants to click through 10 different pages to actually find what they're looking for? Like, I want a product, I have a problem, I Google it, and then I have to click through page 1, page 2. Man, these results, I don't like them. This is not a good user experience. You want AI search, you want to talk with someone. You want to have the result that you're looking for as fast and as easy as possible. And those 10 clicks that you needed before, those are basically gone, and they are not coming back. And this is basically the reason why so many of you see this discrepancy between, okay, we're showing up in Google results, but people are just not clicking. And this is basically what you see here. Many call it the crocodile, the alligator, because we're seeing this discrepancy growing stronger and stronger again. But there's a silver lining to it. Less clicks doesn't actually mean less revenue. If we start to integrate AI search more into the buyer's journey, it can actually lead to revenue, to more revenue. And this is actually what we're seeing here. These are some screenshots from the CRMs of our clients, where we're seeing actually an increase with the upcoming of AI search tools. So the big question here is, are your KPIs and reporting already built for this big change? So how do top teams actually do that? How do we connect AI success to revenue? And I want to make one point, again, very clear here, because we're talking about attribution at the end of the day. Why is attribution so hard at the moment? Because the buyer journey went completely insane the last few years. Like, there's no one clear buyer journey. For example, you're looking for a product, you're Googling it, you're looking for reviews on G2, you're looking for comparisons on Reddit, you're asking your friend, you're getting a recommendation via Slack, then you go to your brand's homepage, it's not really what I'm looking for, go to the competitor, deciding again. Like, it goes round and round. Like, how do you actually attribute that? It's not possible. So how do you actually, if you can't really measure it, how do you actually connect AI measures to visibility and to revenue? And the solution that we've come up with is creating an impact chain to monitor early AI success and long-term target achievement. And in the end of the day, what we're looking at is correlation here. So we're trying to, each of the step of our AI optimizations, we're trying to look at the corresponding metric. So first of all, you're thinking with your marketing team, hey, we want to increase visibility in AI search. We also want to do this, okay, now we're doing structured data. We've heard it before in the other talks. We are adjusting our content. So what's the first thing that should move? It's basically visibility. So you look out for a target prompt set, like what would users actually search in LLMs, and where do want we to show up with our brand. And this is the first thing that should move if you're doing AI measures. Is visibility for our target prompts actually increasing? And you can do that with the tool of your choice, Peak AI or Profound, whatever. So now you have this visibility. You see, oh, actually some stuff is moving. We did something here. Visibility is going up. So the next thing you want is engagement. And I wrote down here, are people clicking and converting? But I'm not so much hung up on clicking, because LLMs are, at the end of the day, not a traffic channel. People are researching there, and those tools are notoriously bad at sending people back to your website. They don't want to do that. They want to keep you there. So at the end of the day, what you should look at the second part here is, are people converting? Like with Google Analytics, are your key conversions filtered for AI sources actually going up? So now you are at the point, okay, we're seeing, we did some AI measures, we optimized, we've seen visibility go up, and with the visibility, we see more people converting. Then at the end of the day, what we want is more revenue. And here you need several data sources. Like, it's not enough to just look at Google Analytics, because that only tells you one part of the story, and that's this last touch, first touch, or mixed attribution, whatever you're doing. But that's just half of the picture. We've seen before, the messy middle is real. The buyer journey is completely all over the place. So you also want to ask your clients, how have you heard about us? Self-reported attribution. You want to look into CRM. You want to listen to a sales conversation, for example, with a tool like Gong. And then you have basically several data points that tell you more and more details about what actually influenced the sale at the end of the day. And actually, you need all of those 3 points, because if just one of those points goes up, for example, you did some AI measures and then AI revenue goes up, how do you actually connect it to each other? Like, it's just pure chance. You need to have like a correlation of all of these 3, because otherwise you don't know what actually worked. One point to get into more detail too is high impact prompts. How do you actually find high impact prompts? Like, how do you actually measure visibility in AI tools? And that's basically the process that we've come up with. We start with a starter list. We group SEO relevant keywords. Yes, they are still relevant. They got search volume. People are actually looking for those. And you group them by shared intent and create prompts out of that. You can also talk with sales about what are the actual questions that people are looking for. You can use Google Search Console and find queries that are like 5 or 6 words long tail, you call them, and also do a bit of role play with your favorite LLM. And with this starter list, you expand them with tools. You use query fan out to discover related prompts, and you can use tool like Peak AI, which also gives you suggestions. And then you have basically a very rigid list of prompts that you can monitor in the beginning. One important point here, if you just track 10 prompts, it's not going to tell you shit. Like 100 is the minimum, because these things are probabilistic, and you want to be statistically relevant. And for statistical relevancy, you need a huge amount of prompts to monitor across different ICPs, buying stages, because only then you really know if you are visible. Yeah, just adding here up on the conversions. I mean, all of you are using Google Analytics probably. So just what you should do here is set up your key conversions and then filter for those that are coming from AI sources like ChatGPT, BART, Perplexity, whatever. And then lastly, as I told before, you need to track the revenue. How did people actually come? And make the connection to sales at the end of the day. All right, summing it up. So connecting LLM visibility to business impact, you need 3 buckets. You need visibility. Are AI systems actually surfacing your brand? You need engagement. Is this visibility leading to more conversions? And then at the end of the day, are these conversions actually leading to more revenue? And without correlation, it's just luck. So you have to look at all those signals um, in a linear way. All right, then what do we see in our clients' accounts? What is actually working in AI search? So here a quick summary. This is basically the gist of it before we get into the details. Like the three biggest levers are web coverage. You want to be as often as possible in the training data that is out there in the web. You want to have reviews on G2, what we saw earlier in the presentation. You want to do a little PR. You want mentions, like just being out there, just being a brand that is known. You want to make sure, and that's the second part, that those bots can actually read your website. And those are the basics. Those are the SEO basics. Is your page indexable? Is it crawlable? Does it have structured data, clean HTML? Because if the machine can't read your content, you can't be cited. That's basically it. And lastly, creating high intent content. We're getting to that later. One thing that I suggest every one of you does is creating competitor comparisons, listicles. That stuff just works like a charm. It's insane. Like there was a Google update. Many people thought, oh, listicles, competitor comparisons, they are done. They're getting penalized. Nope, not at all. Still works. It's basically the easiest way to start into AI search optimization. All right, here we're seeing an example from actually TeamViewer, yes. And the three main initiatives that we did for AI search optimizations were, one, we created competitor comparison pages, actually a complete hub. We did structured data optimization, and we created a whole glossary with AI content. And the learning here was, like the most important thing, I think, is AI-generated content works if quality and structure are strong. And also, I suggest, if you're thinking about automating content with AI, think about it in like two buckets. Bucket one, high touch, like content like product pages, competitor comparison pages. Those are the pages that have legal implications where you want to sell your product. The human in the loop should be the most prominent thing here. Then on the other hand, like a glossary, you're just explaining terms. Don't use your human authors for that. Just use AI, get it out there, get the rankings, get the traffic. That's basically the gist of it. And by implementing these three things, we saw a huge increase not only in AI search traffic and signups from AI sources, but also from the good old traditional SEO. So yeah, nice win. I think we've heard about structured data before already, but just to visualize it for you, what is structured data actually and why is it so important? On the left side, you see the Yoyaba homepage, and what a human will see when he's looking at the Yoyaba logo is just like, oh, Yoyaba, the icon, yeah, good, it's a brand. But what you can do with structured data, you can give the AI much more information. Like Yoyaba is an organization, it's a revenue marketing agency for B2B tech companies, it's located in Hamburg, those are the main products. Like you can give such much more context to those tools so that they make you visible for the right queries, for the right prompts. And this is a quick win like we saw before. It's automated in Webflow, so no-brainer. That's actually, so what we're seeing here on the left side is a screenshot from the tool Peak AI. It's basically the top cited sources for our target prompt set for a client of us. And what you will see when you're setting up prompt monitoring is that in most cases, like 4 or 5 pages will be cited in 80% of the times. Like there are the big winners. So what to do with when you identify those big winners, you should either create similar content or you have to make sure that you are being mentioned on those winning pages. And with that, you can easily like hack the goddamn thing. All right, this is actually more of a tactic that goes against LLM optimization. It's more like what can you still do with decreasing traffic. AI can answer questions, yes, it can do that, but it can't yet replace utility. So what still works very well for traditional SEO is interactive formats like calculators, templates. On the left side, what we've built here for a client is a break-even calculator. Like not that advanced math, to be honest, but it still drove not only traffic, but also sign-ups and revenue pretty fast outside of LLMs. Then, getting into competitor comparison pages. So I told you should definitely do this, and I mean it. You should definitely do this because it's a quick win. The only thing that you need to be very mindful about is the legal implications. What you're seeing here is the brand LogMeIn, one of the biggest competitors of our client TeamViewer. And they are pretty bold, you can say that. TeamViewer has deceptive pricing, weak security. I would actually not suggest being that aggressive because this can, like, you have a lawsuit on your hands for sure. And they have that, yeah. So just watch out for misleading or unverifiable claims, defamatory positioning, trademark and logo misuse, and just regulations. And in the best case, have your legal advisor have a look about it. All right, where's AI search heading next? I think this is a very interesting topic because what we're seeing is not only LLM referral traffic increasing, but also AI agent traffic increasing. So AI agents, autonomous systems that can navigate and act on the web, that grew by 8% year over year last year. And this is growing as well. These are not only LLMs that just surface your content, those are AI systems that actually act on your website. And Morgan Stanley actually predicts that by 2030, nearly 50% of online shoppers will use AI agents. And might be a bit far-fetched, but you never know. And I think what B2C is starting, B2B will follow as well. And we see it in our own buying processes. We are always doing more and more with AI. So what most of you are already doing is optimizing for layer 1. How do we get more visible? But what many don't do yet is optimizing for layer 2, interaction. How can we actually make AI agents being able to interact with our content, our demos, our checkout processes? And this is going to become very important going forward because those things, they don't try a second time. So agent bounce rate will be a deciding factor for your success going forward. Nothing more to say about that. The only question that I have for you is, are you actually ready for that kind of stuff? Because AI is replacing clicks with visibility, and brands that are early here, that learn how to measure, influence, and operationalize that, they are going to win the next era of growth. And as promised, I'm not letting you out of here without a special surprise. So here on this next slide, you can actually download a free checklist, low-hanging fruits and related tips about becoming agent-ready this quarter. And I'll leave you a bit of room to actually scan that. The 3 things that are important here, like agents act, they don't browse, and SEO now should also include an interaction layer. And if you're doing that early, you actually will have a competitive advantage. But that's not all. So I actually got to convince my boss to give me a bit of free time because we've been talking a lot about a community earlier, also in the first session. So if you are up to it, if you want to connect, if you want to work through your AI search strategy together with me, we have 5 organic growth working sessions where you get 1 document, a full AI tech check, a meeting with me personally, and we will work together in a Miro to work through your organic search and AI search strategy. And feel free to apply via this QR code. I'm looking forward to talking to you. Thanks.